It's time for a new adventure.
Welcome back to another episode of Adventures in Business, a podcast for the Lansing 517 area, all the businesses, entrepreneurs, artists, musicians, and people doing amazing cool things around town. This is your co-host, Amy Zander, the owner of Zedia Media and the marketing mobstress. And I am here with my co-host, Lisa Fisher. How you doing, Lisa?
I'm doing great, Amy. How are you? What have you been up to? You have a big day coming soon.
I do. Well, we'll see. We're recording this on May 28th, and my birthday's tomorrow. Yeah, so I'll be 49. So last of my 40s, which is fine. But I don't really feel old, so I don't care. It's just a number, right?
You don't look old, so
I don't. It doesn't bother me. Yeah. But the other things I've been doing around town, so my youngest finally got her driver's license. That was fun. We went and did the road test and all that, and I sat nervously in the back seat and tried to keep my mouth shut. And so that's good. So now we got two drivers in the house, and my oldest is home from the summer, and she started her first job, or her summer job at La Fontaine. She's a porter. She's a car mechanic, so she's in that industry. So she's been enjoying that. That's been good. What about you? What have you been doing around town?
You know, I went to a women's conference, and great speakers, great presenters, and Tin Cup is a coffee wagon or a coffee truck, actually, that was out there distributing coffee. So that was really good. They had really great options to choose from. But then also, the House of Promise had a booth out there. And for those of you familiar with the House of Promise, it's a home for women that have been trafficked. And so it's a rehabilitation home. But they also have soaps and candles and things that they make and then turn around and sell. So as a way to, it's a job for the women that are in their rehabilitation. So
wow.
Yeah, it was just really great, really great.
So fun fact about the Tin Cup. So the Tin Cup also has a brick and mortar in DeWitt. So they have that, and then their trailer. But the owner of that used to work for me at my cafe way back in the day. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I sold her my espresso machine, and then she started the truck and then the brick and mortar. Yeah, she's great, Alex. Yeah, she's great. And they love dogs. So they have like little treats and stuff for dogs and little ice cream for dogs and stuff. They're very cute. Yeah. So
super cool. Super cool. So we have Dianne with us. And before we officially introduce you, Dianne, what have you been doing around the Lansing region?
Well, lately, I've been doing like advocacy for childcare. So with all the stuff going on as far as the shortage of this or the lack of that, there's so many things going on as in the childcare field. So I'm one of the ones that I started saying, instead of complaining, get up and make a change. And so that's what I started doing, just going to different meetings, organizations, sitting down, putting my input in and trying to see what we can do to make things better, and more affordable in this field.
Right.
That's wow.
Good. That's noble.
And it is. Now I feel like I got to go find something to just be in my face.
Oh, Lisa, you do so much for the community. Don't worry about it. You're covered.
But that's a perfect segue in so that I get to do the formal introduction of Dianne Hartwell, owner of Little Blessings Daycare. Their purpose is to educate, nurture, and support families in the community around childcare. They provide affordable childcare and work with families to ensure their desired care embodies the child's needs and the family structure. They have partnerships with the state and other organizations to provide services to our people of service, such as the military families and those families that do not have the economic strength to afford the proper care. They continue working with our community to inform them of outside resources such as the local food banks, additional DHHS services, transportation alternatives, and transition solutions that help kids leave the child care setting and venture into local school districts. They really partner in the community together to mold our children into future leaders. So welcome, Dianne.
Thank you. I'm about to cry.
Aw.
That is just, it was so fun to read, so amazing. But
Thank
tell
you.
us, tell us about your specific daycare. Let's start there. Tell us about Little Blessings.
Well, Little Blessings started back in 1991. At that time, I had 2 young children and 1 was being born. Now I have 5 and they're all grown. So I don't have to worry about, trying to go feed my babies and other babies too. Now I just concentrate on other babies.
Right.
But yes, we've been around for 33 years. Such a bless. I have so much support as far as the family. My children grew up in it with me. I gave them 2 choices growing up. I said, either you can work with me and earn money, or you can just work with me, whichever one,
Right.
So of course they work with me and earn money.
Sure.
They're wise grasshoppers. So it's just been my calling. Since church, dealing with the daycare, then I'm in church. Back then I was really, really in the church. I was over some youth programs. I don't know. I just walk in the door and you're perfect for this. And, Sunshine Band, the youth departments, youth Sunday school. And so anytime I walked in there, and I only been I've been a member of 3 churches in my whole lifetime, but all of them I played a part in the youth department. So, yeah, it's just, as someone always asks me, when you going to retire? Never. I love this field. I always told my children, always get into something that you enjoy doing. Then that way, if you're not making a lot of money or whatever, you still enjoy doing it. And that's what I do. I enjoy this field. And they call me micromanager, but I don't care. As long as they're following, the foundation I put down for them, they don't even have to worry about me micromanaging, but
Right.
they still do. So.
What are the age ranges and how many kids do you have in your daycare?
Well, the age ranges, and over the years, it's been different capacity. Like I started out family, which is only six children. Then I went to group home a few years later, which is 12 children. Then I opened up my other center, which so I was running 3 programs at one time. I had my group home. Then I opened up my center, which was 29 for the center. I opened up another center, which was 29 children for that center. And so it varies. The center I got now, I just expanded, so it holds 45 children. So it varies. The ages 0 to 12, but they can come. I always had where my babies who grew up in the daycare will come back in the summertime and want to work. And I said, that's good, because it's like a birth control to them. My kids, it was a birth control to them and anybody. So when these teenagers or young people, I take them as, my grandchild is 10. When she gets out of, well, she's 12 now, but come to the daycare. Let's put her in the baby room.
I love it.
So they can see how much work this is, right?
Yeah.
And so I take it's 0 to 12, but my teenagers, if they want to come help in the summertime, they always do, and they always welcome to.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
So you have 2 daycares now?
Well, now I just have one. I just sold one of my buildings in January.
Okay.
But I'm looking to into another building where we're getting it situated, and that's 6,000 square feet. So we're trying to get that one doing, but right now I'm just running the one now. I closed my house down in 2019, just before the COVID hit. It was November. And I was like, it took me over a year to struggle with closing because that was my thing I've been doing for over so many years, and I did not want to give up that home daycare. And they was like, well, you gotta do it because you gotta concentrate on your centers, you know, blah blah blah. But I was like, people want the home care, and you know, some people want the center care, and so my home was always full, and you know, the center, and so I did give it up. But again, I thank God I did, because right after that, COVID hit.
Right.
And so, yeah, so it was, yeah, so, yep. So right now we're just running the one center and concentrating on getting this other one because it's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where is your center currently located?
It's on the north side, right by the airport. Yes.
Okay.
I don't know if you want the address but it's
no, that's okay.
That's fine.
Yeah, but your website is littleblessed.org. So if people want to find more information or you know, information about it, they can go there, and those links will be in the show notes to your episode. So
yes,
that's good. And then do you have a general location of the new one that you're opening?
Actually, I do have a location. I'm sorry, my allergy.
It's that time of year, yeah.
Yeah, it's actually it's a lot going on with this because we're looking into me purchasing the building too, just trying to find some avenues for it. But it's the plaza right by the new playground they just built, where Happy Pizza is. It's in that plaza.
Yeah.
So perfect location. Excellent location. So I've been looking at that for like about over a year and a half now. And he came to me and asked me, did I want to purchase the whole plaza? So I'm like, yes. But of course, that's a whole nother, you know, area that we have to try to figure out too.
Okay.
Well, and I think with the daycare need that we have out there, that there's probably funds and groups and things to be able to support some of that, I would hope. But
yes, I'm searching because it's over 6,000 square feet, and it's like it used to be a gym, so it's like hollow. So yeah, it's gonna and we've been working on it, trying to get, you know, the bids and all that stuff. So
yeah.
So I'm excited. Just trying to find the resources.
Yeah. So you must have waiting lists probably for kids, yeah? Because it just seems like there's such a shortage of good daycare.
Yes, I do. And also, is after the COVID is kind of like the shortage is not coming from not having a space, because now that I expanded, we had a space. It's the staffing now that's, you know, causing the shortage. We want to make sure we have enough staffing. And I do not been there, done that. We used to sit in directors meetings and we like, oh, all we need is a warm body.
Yeah.
I don't think like that no more. It's too many especially nowadays after the COVID it's crazy. But no, it's too many turnovers when you just bring anybody in. I mean, yeah, they got to go through the fingerprinting and they do all that. They got to, you know, pass all that and stuff. But people are not motivated. And when you're around these babies, you're not going to be putting just any spirit. I'm not going to have any spirit around them because this is our future. You know, I'm like, I don't want this child being like you. So no, we can't do that. So I have gotten really, I don't know if the word strict. I have gotten really strict on the hiring process because you got to sit down, you got to have that right attitude. I need to see, you know, this, and this, and basically the way you talking and stuff. I think that kind of like helps, you know, figure out if they the right fit or not. But some people are a little, you know, you just got to keep digging into seeing how they are. But them kids will know too.
Yeah. They'll tell you.
Yeah, right. So we do have them. If we do decide to bring them in, they are, you know, we do orientations where they have to work in each classroom for so long and stuff. And then we'll go from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So staffing is definitely, you know, it's the chicken and the egg, right? The daycare. I have no
Mhm.
daycare, so I can't go to work, and then
Right.
I have to have a certain personality, honest to goodness, for our babies and for our elderly. There needs to be the
Yes.
right person to take care of those. It can't just be anybody. So keep that in mind,
Mhm.
listeners. If you know anybody that would meet Diane's qualifications, that you can probably find if you reach out to her. Always
Right,
help is
right.
needed for the right course. Yeah, you talked about working in the classrooms. So how are your classrooms structured?
Well, we have an infant toddler room, we have a preschool room, and then the one we just built is a preschool room too. So I mean, it's, daily routines, because we're not babysitters. We're here to teach your children, of course, and making sure they're taken care of, and, and loved, and all that great stuff,
Mhm.
from nutrients to hygiene, brushing your teeth and stuff. And so they have a daily curriculum, a daily schedule, to where they do all that is fit in there, and they're learning at the same time. Teaching strategy, the different things we use as teaching strategies, ASQs, and anyone who's in the um, educational system know them kind of things and stuff. And so, you just it's all about making sure these children are being the best children they can be, and get the best out of them, because again, that's our future, so
Yes.
we had to make sure that, because we're parents do their part. All right, I'm a mother of five, so when I get home from work, I'm gonna do my little bit. I'm gonna make sure my children, oh, what'd you get? How was your homework? What's your homework today? And blah, blah, blah. But they're not the teachers, right? Well, let me just put it this way. They are teachers, but not educational teachers,
Mhm.
Mhm.
because them children are watching what you're doing. So them
Right.
kids are learning. Whatever you're doing, they're learning. So, the parents have to be the best that they can be too,
Mhm.
and realize that, my kids, and I'm gonna give an example. I don't want to keep going on, but just to give an example, like, parents are gonna argue or fuss, right? My
Mhm.
kids never seen us do that, because we went behind the door, and it ain't like we didn't. We did. But they never seen the bad
Right.
side. And so when they got older, okay, you're 16 and 17. You got a little look, there is a little arguing and stuff. So, but that just shows that, you have to be careful on, you don't want children being raised around arguing and stuff like that. So parents are teachers too. But I'm just saying that, we have to distinguish, our roles, and make sure that these kids are getting the best that they can get in all areas. So that's why I'm in it too, to
Mhm.
make sure the parents, I give them information. They don't know, they don't know how to handle if their kid is biting someone else. Your child just bit this person 3 times in a row, 3 days in a row. So we try to give them information on stuff to help them at
Good.
home, because especially with parents that only got one child, you know that's their baby.
Mhm.
I know I spoiled mine to death before the other four came along. So
Right.
you couldn't tell me nothing about mine. No, that wasn't my child that did that. What did y'all do? That's what we hear.
But backing up to the parents as educators with the homework, right, and the schoolwork, I
Mhm.
hear from so many working families, moms and dads, that I'm at work all day. My kids come home, and now we have 2 and 3 hours of homework to do together. I don't know the new math. I hear that one a lot. I don't
Yes.
know the new math.
Yes.
So,
Right.
then this level of frustration starts setting in, because, you know, we want to be parents to our kids. We want to have fun with them. It just,
Right.
we've been at work all day. Now we've got to do this. So I love that there's that element of helping them through some of those things, but also the fact of providing parents with information is important, because my little great grandbaby, his little friend at daycare bit him 3 times. and it's not your daycare, so it wasn't them. But it's just like teach that child not to bite my grandbaby.
Right, right,
But,
right.
so I think that there's a difference between a babysitter and an educator and a provider, a daycare providing services. So thank you. What do you do? Because you go through the ages of 12. Does like a bus bring the kids to your site, or how do the older kids get to you when they're transitioning from school to the daycare?
Well, when we did the school agers, now during the school during the school days, there are bus stops to where they're right in front of the centers when they when we do have school agers. Other times, parents would just bring them or something. Yeah, we're like in the area. There's a lot of apartments and stuff, so they walk them over, or
Right.
it's we used to have transportation again, staffing, because I do want to go back to providing transportation, but it got to where I was actually, if the person was out, I would have to go get the children and stuff, and so it got to be a whole lot of on me. So but I love to do that again too.
Yeah, there's a big school bus driver shortage in the Lansing school district area. I know we're over in Grand Ledge, and it's a big problem.
Yeah.
Just like all the industries is staffing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Aside from your children, because we know they grew up great, what is one of your best success stories?
You talking about with children?
Yeah.
Yeah, your business. Yeah.
Okay, well, with children, this is what keeps me going, because I have like a famous basketball player. He plays in Canada now. And I tell his story because, and I have a few of them, but I tell his story because of his health issue when he was a baby. He's a twin, and he had breathing problems, and so I would have to give him his a breathing treatment like 3 times a day, which was a lot, and it was a newborn baby. And so, and I had to do that for probably over 2 years or so. So there was times where he would breathe so shallow that I would call his mom and, say, hey, you got to come get this baby. He is scaring me. I don't like how he's breathing. And she'd be right there. Perfect. I mean, I wish all the parents were like that today, but anyway, as far as how they appreciate their providers, but as he grew up, we played basketball. I had the basketball thing in the back for the boys, the girls I take in the kitchen, cook, stuff like that. So he grew up, he became a famous basketball player. And I say that is because this child couldn't even hardly breathe, and now he's out on that floor, And so I was like, wow. So I think that is like, as far as a child, one of my most success story, because I seen how shallow his breath was, and I like, oh my gosh, it just scared the mess out of me. And watching him now, I mean, my breath is it's tiring watching them going back and forth. I'm out of breath just watching.
Right.
So yeah, I just thank God that he, got over that and perfectly healthy and everything.
Oh.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
What are you excited about with your business in the future?
Expanding and reaching more children and families, because they need us. These children nowadays, they need us. We have a nonprofit that we formed about a year ago, and we're still working on different things with it. And our main thing right now, not going off of that, but one of the things is the teen gun violence. So we're trying to do that stuff too. but the expanding and, you know, teaching these children and working with the parents and, you know, um, getting them, trying to do programs. We're trying to come up with all kind of programs to not where, especially in the summertime, to not where they're not sitting at home, you know, on TikTok or Facebook and stuff like that. You know, my daughter's in dancing. Her daughter's in dancing. I don't reached out to her, the teenager, you know, about dance classes. Let's start some dance classes for these children. So different, trying to form different events, and this building would make it bigger, have more where we can do it there, you know, and stuff like that. So getting more programs to, you know, reach out to these children, have a variety of different things so they won't get bored, or they won't try to, you know, what's the word I want to say? Try to, want to say occupy them in a different positive way. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that.
Yeah. And I think they need that structure still. Not that it's constant work, 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 but when we have our routines, when we've got a little bit of structure, we're less likely to get into trouble or into some things that we shouldn't be dabbling in. So
Right. And then letting them know that they are valued and that you can do, you know, whatever you put your mind to, you know, like I always tell my kids, and if one of them still right here, there's two things I always told them when they were growing up. My daycare kids can say this too. One of them is be yourself. Because when we walk out the door, I said, "What do?" You said, "We be ourselves." I said, "That's right." Someone added another part to it years ago. I don't always say that part, but I do say "be yourself." But they added because everybody else is taken. So I thought that was cute. And the other one was the only person who can stop you is you. And then I tell them, you know, people can slow you down. They could put obstacles in your way and everything, but the only one who can stop you is you.
Nice.
And so, and they hear that today too. So,
yeah.
I bet even though with only, you know, like you said, the two centers were each 29 capacity and the home was 6. In 33 years, I bet a lot of kids have come through your daycares. I bet you've impacted a lot.
Yes, they have. It it it's so I can't even put it in words how wonderful it is to see parents that leave their kids and they go off, and then their kids come, you know, and then people stop by and say, "Yeah, you remember me? I used to be adults with kids." And so it is, I mean, that's a reward too. That's a reward by itself. So it is. And then just word of mouth and stuff. So when it's amazing when people trust you with their babies, because I know how I am with my kids, you know, and not when I say this, I don't mean it in a literal way, but maybe I do, you know, I'll fight over my kids, you know. And so I want to, you know, I want to make sure that, because that's, like I tell them, when you bring that baby in, that's my baby for, you know, 8 or 9 hours.
Right.
I'm going to treat them like it's my baby. And it's funny because sometimes if they like running around, I seem like I be, and the parents sitting right there. This is mainly like at the home too, because they feel more comfortable in the home, running around and stuff. And I get nervous, like, oh, if that baby trip or fall, nope, stop that running. You know, we don't run in the house, we run outside. Then I'm like, well, why don't you tell him that? Aren't you scared he gonna hurt himself? So I think I'm telling the parent that, like,
it's hard to turn that roll off.
Right. Yeah. I think I'd be more nervous of the kids than the parents do, but they my babies. Yeah.
I love it. So Little Blessings Learning Center, you're over by the airport. Always, do you have staff positions available right now?
I actually do. I'm looking for a lead teacher and 2 assistant teachers and a bus driver.
There you go. Do you have any openings for babies or for kids or different age range 0 to 12 openings?
Yeah, our infant toddler room is closed, but full. But we do have openings for preschoolers, or I should say, 2 and up, 2.5 and up. Yeah.
All
Okay.
right. So we have some looking to do a second center, so another larger location, working on those details. So we look forward to hearing how that goes. And that's over by that amazing giant playground. It was at that Luadado Park. Oh my gosh, that playground
Yeah,
is so cool.
I know. Nice.
And so continuing to, and that will bring new openings for new positions as well, not just
Yes.
the workers, but the 0 to 12s. And
Mhm.
is there anything that we have not asked you about that you would like our listeners to know?
Um,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's also okay to say we covered it all, because some people will be like, "Oh, we covered it all." That's okay.
Yeah. Well, you covered it all, and I appreciate you, ladies, for taking the time out and listening to my story.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
And thank you to continue to advocate for those things as well, not just try to be a business owner, but to advocate and have a nonprofit that's in there. You know, we find a lot of business owners are wearing many, many hats, and yet this is a solution to a big problem that we have.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so thank you for being part of the solution, and can't wait to see what's next and what's on the horizon.
Yeah,
Well, thank you
absolutely.
so much.
Yeah, and then the last question we always ask is if there's anybody in the 517 area that you have really just wanted to meet, either for a professional reason or a personal reason that our listeners might be able to connect you with. Do you have somebody in mind?
Um, well, I keep thinking about the mayor. I did meet him when I was uh, um, well, I shouldn't say meet him because I haven't personally talked to him.
You're in the same room.
Yeah, I was in the
Yeah.
same room. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So I think that would be really nice.
Mayor Shore.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, we had him on our show. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So maybe Lisa and I can help connect you. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
and it's funny because the building that I'm getting, it used to be a gym, and so the owner said, "Yeah, the mayor used to come in here and work out," and I was like, "Oh, so cool!"
Nice.
So, yeah,
Closing that circle.
Yeah.
right, right.
Perfect.
So,
Excellent.
yeah,
Well, this has been such a treat to have you on the show, especially to hear about a business that is expanding in a very much needed area. The lack of childcare and lack of good childcare that has education component and people that care and experience. You've been doing this for quite a while, so thank you so much for coming on our show. This has been great. We really appreciate you.
well, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And to our listeners, thank you so much for joining us again on another Adventures in Business in the 517 area. We hope you have a great day. We hope you get out there and enjoy this great weather and do something fun in the area. And as always, go out and make it an adventure.
This is a Zedia Media production.